All right, we're going to do a Q&A, so I'm going to give you this mic, Robert. This is the hot mic. I'll switch your mics here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. This is the most interesting place I've ever been to. Go ahead.
Most interesting place he's ever been to. Craig, his mic up nice and hot. Most interesting, seriously, ever?
It's you. I mean, it's fantastic.
Now, Robert, I want to ask you this. Warren Buffett once said, he said, since I was born in 1930, the dollar has depreciated by well over 90%. That's Warren Buffett talking about the dollar losing its value. You are one of the first entrepreneurs that I saw at scale in your podcast, which people can find on YouTube, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad podcast. I saw you at the podcast. I saw you through books talking about the collapse of the dollar. And so I thought to myself, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to assume Robert Kiyosaki's crazy, and I'm going to go meet with people I know that own banks. And I'm going to ask them the same questions. And they were all telling me, if you don't hate yourself, just take a quarter of your income and buy gold and just hold. And so as a result of your pro tips and the results of these advice from these people that own banks, I've just been buying gold very consistently since 2005. Yeah. And since that time, it's gone from $400 an ounce to almost $300 or $3,000 an ounce. Could you explain for anybody out there that's maybe new to this idea, why has gold just since 2005 gone from $400 an ounce to almost $3,000 an ounce?
Well, gold has not changed. The dollar's losing value. That's all it means. So it's really quite simple. 1971, April 15th, 1971, Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. And ever since, that's, I have to tell the story of, I was flying off a carrier in Vietnam, and then I said, I better buy some gold. So I flew behind enemy lines. Marines aren't the brightest guys on earth. And there was a little gold mine. I walked up to the window of the little girl sailing there. And I looked, I said, my co-pilot and I were looking at it, and he goes, is this gold? I said, I don't know. I've never seen gold. And he says, what do you mean you've never seen gold? I didn't know this at the time. 1971, it was illegal for Americans to own gold. That's how powerful a metal it is. So what I say, gold and silver are God's money. It was put here on earth by God. And paper is fake money. So that's how I look at it. That's very simple then.
And you've not only talked about gold, but you've actually invested in your own mine. I hear it's risky to start your own mine. Can you talk about why you decided to invest in your own mine?
Well, I don't know why I like oil. I like cattle, and I like mines. So I was in Vancouver, British Columbia, and I found a gold mine for sale in China. And so they asked us, we tied it up, and we took it public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. And we took it public. We raised $27 million for it, small. And we struck gold. It was the richest gold mine in China. And the moment we struck gold, they took it. I have a whole new respect for country risk. Don't do business where the rule of law does not exist. And America was heading that way under this guy Biden and Kamala. When you weaponize the FBI and all that, we're going down the wrong road. So that's why I'm glad we're back. Thank you.
When did you decide to be the gold buyer guy? Like, when did you decide to, not just think about it and study it and look into the collapse of the dollar? When did you decide, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to start buying gold?
Because as you know, every time they print money, the rich get richer, but the poor and middle class get poorer. So we're printing $1 trillion every 90 days now. So those who own real assets like Wagyu cattle, gold, silver, real estate, oil, we get richer. But what else goes up in price is food, like chicken and eggs. You can't afford eggs today. So every time you print fake money, which is what I saw back when I was 17 years old, when you print fake money, guys like us get richer, but my friends and family get poorer because no financial education in school.
Now, let's drill down into that for a second. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, the BRICS nations for 16, almost 17 years, they've been hoarding the Earth's gold. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. These countries are not screwing around. They've been hoarding the Earth's gold in preparation to do what? Well, Putin has announced a great expansion of the BRICS bloc. And now you have, I'm just giving a rough average here, but now you have the majority of the Earth's assets are controlled by these nations that identify with the BRICS bloc. And these countries have a stated goal of introducing a gold-backed programmable currency. I don't think the average person knows that, and I don't think the average person knows that the United States enjoys an incredible privilege as the world's reserve currency since the Bretton Woods Agreement. I don't think people know that. I know that because of your teaching and others, but most people do not know that. So could you maybe articulate or explain, Robert Kiyosaki, for our listeners out there, why do our listeners need to know that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, those countries are hoarding the Earth's gold and attempting to introduce a new reserve currency?
Because I think it was J.P. Morgan or somebody that said gold is money, the rest is credit or debt. And gold is the only money there is, according to that's in his theory. So that's why I tell the story of flying behind enemy lines. It's Gresham's law. We know what real money from fake money. But my greatest concern here is this: if we don't make changes in what we teach ourselves and our kids, the poverty in America is going to go through the roof, because we're now the biggest debtor nation in the world. And, like what they're teaching us now is DEI. What about teaching us money? And I don't think it's a mistake. That's my concern. It drives me on, because I love my country. 2 tours in Vietnam. But why does our school system not teach us anything about the truth about money? So gold is money. I call it God's money.
The BRICS nations, again, to repeat for everybody who's hearing this for the first time, you might hear about the BRICS nations. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, Africa. Those comprise roughly 41% of the Earth's population, and they are teaming up together to unseat the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. And now you have Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Nigeria, Venezuela, Algeria, Turkey, and Argentina all teaming up to unseat the US dollar as the world's US.
You're on it, man. You're on it. Everybody listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. You have the macro picture. Very few people have that point of view. And the Great Reset will be the collapse of the dollar.
Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble.
How concerned are you about the collapse of the US dollar, sir?
It's the end of the dollar system. So the end is near for the US dollar. And my concern is it's going to wipe out stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. Just for my generation, the boomer generation, we're in serious trouble, because the only reason our stocks, bonds, mutual funds are up is because the Fed and the Treasury just kept printing more and more money.
So look, I've been in the financial industry since 9/11, the day before 9/11, and I've owned stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, crypto, gold, you name it, I've owned it. But the one thing that's very important part of my portfolio all these years is gold. I love having a percentage of my net worth in gold that I have access to in case of many different things. A few facts you need to know about gold. Number one, the gold market cap is $11.8 trillion. Since 2000, the compound annual growth rate for gold has been 9.24%, and during times of high inflation, 3% plus, has been 15.35%. Now, those are just some numbers for you, but there's some other benefits to add gold to your portfolio. Number one, hedge against inflation. Number two, results showed recently that 93% of central banks are working on a CBDC. So this means what? That could be a manipulated currency that they own. If you own gold, it's a non-duplicatable asset. You're now hedging against CBDC taking place. Number three, a potential cyber threat. If it happens, you don't have access to your money, you don't have access to your accounts, where you have access to your hard physical gold. Number four is anonymous. No one knows you have that gold. And last but not least, diversification.
This here is real silver. It's about $35. Not that much. Everybody can afford $35. And this here is real gold. And we don't give investment advice, but right now, do my best to get your head out of you know what and stop working hard and saving this stuff here. This is fake. This is fake. This is real. And this is real. Good luck to you all. Start going for real money, not fake money. Thank you.
My name is General Mike Flynn, and I want everyone to know that I stand fully behind Beverly Hills Precious Metals and its owner, Andrew Sorcini, a great friend of mine. We are facing one of the greatest periods of financial uncertainty in American history. And now is the time to organize your finances, seriously consider how you can take care of yourself and your family, and start making some serious decisions.
I've spent years as a macroeconomic forecaster, and there's a really strong relationship between inflation and using gold as a hedge. And gold can be a really important part of your portfolio. It's not for day traders. It's not something you get in and get out of. But if you want it as part of the anchor of your portfolio, go to bh-pm.com, Beverly Hills Precious Metal. They will help out in terms of your needs. It's a big choice you have to make. Do your homework. But if you want gold, bh-pm.com is a great place to go.
Since my name is Cash, I am constantly worried about inflation. But to secure your cash going forward, buy into gold and silver today. And you know who shares that ethos? Beverly Hills Precious Metals. Go to bh-pm.com today so you can go buy gold and silver and secure your family's future. bh-pm.com. Call Beverly Hills Precious Metals, get your consultation, buy into gold and silver just like I'm doing today, and help secure your family's future. Because it's all about educating yourself. And that's the value, whether you go with Beverly Hills Precious Metals or not. It's a free consultation that gives your family options for financial security going into the future. So that's why you should call Beverly Hills Precious Metals.com for a free consultation today.
So look, I've been in the financial industry since 9/11, the day before 9/11, and I've owned stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, crypto, gold, you name it, I've owned it. But the one thing that's very important part of my portfolio all these years is gold. I love having a percentage of my net worth in gold that I have access to in case of many different things. A few facts you need to know about gold. Number one, the gold market cap is $11.8 trillion. Since 2000, the compound annual growth rate for gold has been 9.24%, and during times of high inflation, 3% plus, has been 15.35%. Now, those are just some numbers for you, but there's some other benefits to add gold to your portfolio. Number one, hedge against inflation. Number two, results showed recently that 93% of central banks are working on a CBDC. So this means what? That could be a manipulated currency that they own. If you own gold, it's a non-duplicatable asset. You're now hedging against CBDC taking place. Number three, a potential cyber threat. If it happens, you don't have access to your money. You don't have access to your accounts. Well, you have access to your hard physical gold. Number four is anonymous. No one knows you have that gold. And last but not least, diversification.
This here is real silver. It's about $35. Not that much. Everybody can afford $35. And this here is real gold. And we don't give investment advice, but right now I would do my best to get your head out of you know what and stop working hard and saving this stuff here. This is fake. This is fake. This is real. And this is real. Good luck to you all. Start going for real money, not fake money. Thank you.
My name is General Mike Flynn, and I want everyone to know that I stand fully behind Beverly Hills Precious Metals and its owner, Andrew Sorcini, a great friend of mine. We are facing one of the greatest periods of financial uncertainty in American history. And now is the time to organize your finances, seriously consider how you can take care of yourself and your family, and start making some serious decisions. Tell them that the General sent you. Thank you so much, and God bless America.